sound really insane, but I'm actually so gonna miss when our furniture comes on Monday and we're not in this big empty space. Right now we use these boxes from the vacuum that we bought and an air mattress as like our living room entertainment system. And our spare bedroom is completely empty. So I just film with a plain white background and Jake plays music and does his schoolwork in there. I get that it looks insane, but I'm gonna miss it. I just like the open space. I like the room to think. We're gonna get stuff here and I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make coffee in the morning, I'm gonna sit down to journal, and then I'm gonna look around and be like, I should declutter, I should clean up, I should tidy, I should vacuum. Right now though, it's just open. There's nothing to clean. I'm thinking couch here, because I like when the living rooms are like open. I don't like when they're like shut off, you know? But it'll have to shut off like the entry, which is too bad. But couch, 2 little bar stools that go right here, just in case we want to sit, which I know we will. A really big table here. Well, we want a table that goes from like small to really, really big. We haven't picked one yet, because we can't decide if we want oval or square. I'm afraid that if I do oval, I'll hate it later. You're like, surprises, come on. The bed's gonna go here. This is the guest room. And that way I can put our old dining table, which is like a bar height, here as like a desk office space, because Jake goes to school a lot and I work from home a lot. So I think that way you can have like a little bit of a view, but you can also like, you know, put stuff on the walls. And if you put the table here, then you never have any view of the window. So, and I hope that there's enough room for that. You can really hear the AC. So we got one picture, and we think that's gonna go here, and then we're gonna get something bigger here. But he could also go like that, and then we have this really cool face planter. It's hard to explain, but that could have a bunch of eucalyptus there too. We just don't know what we wanna do. We're gonna be happy we have this video and we look back and be like, oh, remember that like week we had nothing in the apartment?
Here's our car. We just bought a car. Oh Lord.
Our new car.
Oh.
And the entry I think I'm gonna leave open. We had tables in our old entry, but I think we'll just keep that clean.
Yeah.
And then in our bedroom,
Master.
we could either put the dressers here or on either side of the bed, which I actually think would be better, so you keep this nice and open for like walking through. But we haven't really decided. What do you think?
I think I personally like the dressers over here, so yeah, they're kind of out of the way.
Yeah, I think so too.
I like a nice open breezeway to walk in and out of.
Right, like it's not a ton of room. And that's our new mirror. We've been searching for this mirror, and it's 72 inches tall or something, so.
This is the bathroom. We're getting ready in here. We're tearing down in here. We're building each other up in here. We're taking showers in here. We're decorating in here.
We want to get a bunch of eucalyptus to go in that big flower pot too.
Yeah.
And then we love this.
And we love this.
Yeah, we got like a nice super plush rug in the like under our sinks. And then we got that piece of art too. So everything right now is like white, beige, grays, but we think we might add some like hunter green, so. And then this isn't anything, but soon it'll be filled with clothes and that'll be really, really nice.
So thanks for taking a tour of our crib.
Look at that sunshine. Okay, a little morning chat. And I don't have any makeup on right now because last night I did microneedling, and maybe I'll do a whole section on that because I think I have perfected the routine, and it includes the Medicube products that I've already got, and then I also have the whole Medicube like facial kit coming, like just, I don't even know how many products, so I'm excited to add those into the microneedling. But for now, we've just got the glow. Just got back from the gym, I just had some breakfast. And I wanted to share a couple things going on. The last time we talked, I was sharing about just trying to find that magic again of waking up in the morning and feeling good and not having that sense of fear and dread. And I do a lot of TBM, to be magnetic, if you know, you know. And one of the things that's part of my authentic code is presence. Presence is something that I've actually really challenges me. In fact, the other day I was on the phone call with someone and I found myself so tense that I picked a scab off my knee. And that's when I realized like, I'm definitely not being present because that physically hurt. But I was tense and I was uncomfortable and I just got through this situation. I just want to work on being in the moment that I'm actually in and experiencing emotions from it, because that was one of the most magical parts of being in chemo, which I fully surrendered to. I wasn't fighting, I wasn't wishing I was home. I was really like being in this moment of, I'm in a hospital, I'm very sick, I do not have hair, I gained like 50 pounds because I was on prednisone, which is a steroid. And so I had to give up a lot of my normal life, and I was happy to do that. And I was happy to slow down and have this like season of not having those things. I think it kind of relates right now to TBM has been talking a lot about how 2025 was stripping, and I had that experience. I moved back to the Pacific Northwest right after I got married because Jake worked up there on the mountains, and it just seemed like the best way. I worked remotely, and there was also a deep call in my heart to go home and be near my family. I think I believed that it was going to be better. I think I believed it should be where I want to live and where I can find happiness and start my family. I always felt kind of trapped in that part of the country. It's very, it can feel really small and not isolated. I didn't feel isolated except in that I didn't have community around myself, but I felt like I was surrounded and kind of trapped in things that weren't right for me. So I love warm weather, I love humidity, I love people, I love being surrounded by diversity and art and culture and food and music, and have small music and art scenes, but it just didn't feed me creatively or spiritually or emotionally or socially. I had to go back there, I had to move back, and I had to see once and for all that it's not the right place for me. And I'm really glad that I married Jake and that he came with me down here to Houston. And I'm glad that I got that out of my system, because there was a part of me that would have always wondered and longed to go home and have that sense of home where my family finds home. And I would have regretted not going, even though all I had to go back and find out was that it's not right for me. I needed to fulfill that question. I needed to answer that question. Also, I think it's okay if you and your family have a better relationship with different parameters than just being in the same small town. That's right for some families, and in fact, it's right for most of the people in my family. For me, it's not. It's more exciting for me for us to travel or to visit each other or to have those like intense periods where we're in the same place visiting and all of our time is spent together, and then takes time apart. And I actually do that with a lot of things. I work that way. I'm into a project, I'm so deep in it, I won't even like go eat or anything, and then I need a break. And I do that with a lot of things in life, like hyperfixation breakfasts. I'm into them, and then I need a break from that and I don't want to eat that anymore. So it's kind of just the way that feels natural for me to share and experience things anyways. And I don't think there needs to be shame in that. It's not that I'm with my family all the time. It doesn't mean I'm disloyal to them. We are very, very different. And you would understand that if you are kind of the black sheep or the artist of the family. You just feel things bigger sometimes. And so anyway, so we were talking about making the mornings more romantic. And because part of my authentic code is presence, something I deeply long for and really, really love experiencing, but don't always experience because I'm uncomfortable, because I'm people pleasing, because I'm a codependent. Now that we have this apartment with nothing in it, I'm able to really like be present in the morning, because there's nothing to do. There's nothing to tidy, there's nothing to put away, there's nothing to get done. There's just like one coffee cup, one coffee maker, one place to sit. What I've found is that I can get there through my senses, which totally makes sense because that's part of the divine feminine. And women, I mean, we're all sensual beings, but especially women, and I love living through my senses, and that's one of the ways I get to have a present life and be present, is traveling through the senses to be there, to be here. So that means waking up and just enjoying the dark, and as it gets light, and watching every moment of that transformation outside of our windows. It means really smelling the coffee and tasting the spices that I add, the cardamom, the cinnamon. It means feeling the warmth of it in my hands, in my mouth, in my throat. It means feeling the energy build up as I'm drinking caffeine. It just means making room for the presence, for my mind to be there in the moment. And the way that I've done that now is when I wake up first thing in the morning, I go and make my coffee, take my vitamins, all the things, and then I sit down and do my journaling and TBM, and that way my brain is clear. So what I've really gathered about the romancing of the morning, it's not about the coffee cup, it's not about the coffee maker, it's not about the music in the background. Now that all those things are stripped away, I'm realizing it's the presence of my senses and my sensual experience of the morning. And Jake is so perfect for that because he wants so many hugs first thing in the morning. One of the things he does the moment he wakes up is he just like grabs onto me and just holds me, and usually lays on top of me and just holds me down, and it's so grounding. And then throughout the morning he just wants to stand and hug and embrace and just have these moments where we breathe the same air at the same pace, and it's like very, very soothing, and it makes everything else just kind of stop. So that's a really great gateway to presence as well. I'm finding that for the mornings, the magic and the romance comes from presence, which comes from enjoying the clarity of mind, using that time to meditate, to reprogram, to allow myself space to dream and think, and to watch and feel the morning through the light as it comes through, to really smell and taste my coffee, really just slow down those things. That's how the romancing is happening, and that's where I'm finding the magic and being able to dive deeper into that part of my authentic code of being present, because I really want to be present for my family, my husband, my work, you. I just want to be present. I want to experience this life. I didn't fight so hard to be able to get older just so I could like zoom through it. And that's the good and the bad. I want to experience the pain and the heartache and the longing and the desire and the fulfillment of the desire. I want all of that. I want the spectrum, and I've known that since I was 17. I thought about that all the time when I was sitting in that hospital bed. I want the gamut of emotion, not just the good. So I have to make room for that, and I have to strengthen myself to be able to sit through all those emotions, including in that morning quiet when I'm meditating and being like, is there fear coming up? This is my handwriting. Is there anxiety coming up? Is there shame coming up? Okay, and last thing I wanted to talk about was gut health. So I also shared this on TikTok and Instagram and Substack. So if you're going through this might be really helpful. I thought I had SIBO. I went through the SIBO protocol like 2 or 3 times, where I did the antibiotics, I did all the elimination diets, I saw every kind of doctor you could possibly think of. It went on for about 3-4 years, where every single night, no matter what I ate, no matter how clean, I would be so bloated to the point that it hurt. It was so incredibly painful, and my stomach just felt like it was going to burst every single night. Even if I didn't eat, it would happen. So it was like, okay, am I swallowing air? Am I allergic to something? We tried everything. One thing that helped was stretching, but I never really put together why that would happen. So sometimes when the stomach aches would start, I would do like down dog or puppy pose, and it would help, but I didn't really like dive deeper into that. So I would like to say that my probiotic game is strong, but I did just switch to a new one. This is the Pro Mix probiotic. I'm actually really, really into it. So they're drink packets, and you put it in water and drink it first thing on an empty stomach. Plus it's got a bunch of other nutrients, and it's got the fruit extract from the baobab fruit, which I'm just now learning about, but apparently it has a lot of benefits, including like boosting your collagen production and helping your energy levels and building your immune system. So there's a lot of other things going on there, and I also still take my supplements for PCOS. I'm really liking this part of the morning routine too. It's also way more pleasant than apple cider vinegar first thing in the morning. I'm also gonna share the stretches that have been helping with the bloating and the distension. If you're having that, try this. So part of the problem that was causing all that distension and bloating was my diaphragm was super locked up, meaning I was holding a ton of tension right here. There's a diaphragm right under your lungs that's supposed to expand the opposite way of your lungs. And it wasn't doing that. It was kind of working the same way, and it was constricted and like tight and cramped up all the time. That was causing part of the distension, because then my stomach wasn't properly digesting food. It was sitting in there and fermenting and causing air. Not only that, I realized that actually trying to improve my squat form, that my spine, my tailbone was slightly curled under. So if this is the front of my body, it was kind of like this, meaning that it was crunching the space of my stomach even more. I'll give you a visual. It's kind of like this all the time. Instead of pushing out, it was kind of curled under, meaning I wasn't activating my glutes when I would squat, and reducing the space of my stomach and just crunching everything together, and I just wasn't digesting properly. So I was like, okay, easy fix. I'm just gonna elongate and stretch the front of my body around my abs and stomach to try to give my diaphragm more room to breathe. Seemed pretty straightforward, but honestly, the effects were so strong. So I'm gonna show you the stretches that I do every single morning to help with this, and it just opens up the back of my hamstrings so that my tailbone can curl out again. Because if those are really tight, they're gonna pull down your tailbone like this so that the bowl of your pelvis goes shoop. So if you elongate your hamstrings, it'll allow the space for your tailbone to flip back up, and to elongate this area so that everything just kind of stretches out. And that includes opening up the hip flexors, which were super tight for me. And these stretches can be intense if you're having this. I mean, some mornings I'm just like, whoa. They really help to just open that space so I have less of the distension going on. So I just showered, we got in a workout, the pod just got picked up, and I'm about to do like the post everything shower. So like tan, whiten my teeth, fix these nails that got ruined from the move, pedicure, laser hair, because I have an at-home tool, which I'll show you all those things right now, what I'm using. These are all the self-tanners I use. I'm gonna use this one today. It's not super dark, so I kind of like it when it's like, it's spring right now, so I'm not trying to be like super tan. I also love this one, it's a little bit darker. This is the golden tone, and actually I like the green better because I have red undertones, so this one just like kind of cools me down a little bit, but I also do love that one. Then this one is kind of my little secret weapon. I don't really use it as like a full tan, but I use it on my feet and my hands, and it's amazing. And then also, if it's like halfway through the week and my tan is starting to get like a little bit like patchy or just needs an update, but I'm not doing like the whole routine, I'll use this all over instead of a lotion, and wow, that's amazing. This is my laser hair remover. I've had it for maybe like honestly 8 years, and it works so well. I got it on Amazon. Then I use these whitening strips because I do have sensitive teeth, so this is the sensitive formula, and they won't give you that like zingy feeling. Then I use these on my nails because I'm trying to grow out my natural nails. I usually have fake nails, but these kind of help and they don't damage. They're like an at-home gel you don't need a base coat or a top coat for. And I'm also going to use this on my face. It's really great. It's actually like a stick. Instead of having to use a brush, you just like throw it on your face with that. But I'm not going to vlog the whole thing because our bathroom is so echoey. But I just wanted to wrap this up and say a couple things. I have been unblocking the deservingness to have more ease because I have been just like a hustle bustle girl since I came out the womb. It was the way that my family worked. We're hard workers and I appreciate that, but I also didn't know that ease was an option, and flow happened rarely, and I thought I had to struggle to get to flow. What I'm trying to do now is to be creative, write blogs, make videos, do any kind of content in a way that feels more relaxed, and I don't punish myself to get to the end outcome so that I'm not burning out. And there's a couple reasons I'm doing that. I'm also trying to rewrite the story in my head that people who do like kind of float through life are like selfish and lazy, because I was always the person that had to carry those people. Like in classes as a kid, I was the one who got charged with like helping the person who was most behind in the class get caught up because I was always ahead. I never felt truly appreciated for how hard I was working or the gifts that I had, and I always felt like I then had to carry people. That was the only way to get my own needs met. Like, okay, I helped her, now can I like move on? Can I keep going? It dawned on me this morning that maybe I'm the only person that is resentful of people who like take it easy and expect other people to help them. And I confirmed with Jake, I am the only one. The second part of this is that I realize I am a writer and I've never done video content, and my life isn't perfectly polished and this isn't that exciting, but I like it. I want to have this record of these stages in our life, and I don't mind sharing that out loud. In fact, I like doing that. I want to try a new medium, which is video, and also I don't think you have to wait for permission to make whatever you want to make. I was waiting for permission because I was a writer. And I had been successful as a writer throughout my career, and mostly because I had used my writing to help other people. So like I talked about earlier, I put other people before myself and didn't just write my own story. And now I'm realizing I don't want to do that. First and foremost, it's not getting me anywhere. It doesn't feel good. And it usually makes both of us resentful, the people that I'm helping, because they get caught in this loop of like, oh, she'll put me first. And when I ever set a boundary, it doesn't go well. I'm holding myself back and using the excuse that like, oh, I have too much to do for this other company, this other client, whatever, that I can't do my own projects. And it's keeping me safe from being rejected if I do put my work out there, like this vlog, but it doesn't feel good, and it's time to stop that. Yeah, I just want to encourage anybody who is out there wanting to make something and you feel stupid doing it. Exposure therapy, trying to do it, is part of the medicine. And I have a close friend who's also starting a podcast, and I'm so proud of her, and I'm so grateful we get to talk about this, of like how scary it is and how you're just kind of waiting for somebody to come to you and be like, you should do this, you should start a vlog, you should do a podcast. You don't have to do that. You can be that voice. And once you get to a place, which I'm learning to do now, where your voice is just as important as anybody else's in the room, and your voice is the one to say you should do it, that should be enough. That towel's getting really heavy on my wet hair. So anyway, we're gonna go do the whole, feel like a woman again, because after a full day of moving and just like the really long road trip and all that time not having any furniture and stuff, I have felt a little bit like just not my best. I will share more thoughts on the process of putting myself out there in new ways and what it's feeling like to give myself permission and allowing myself to have more ease and receiving in my creativity, in my work, in my life in general, and not equating receiving help with being selfish and thus like hurting other people somehow. So I will see you next time.